everyone. I'm new to YouTube, so I thought I would start with a little intro video. So my name is Jackie. I am 50 years old. I live in Virginia, and I thought I'd go through the Newbie Book Tag and see if, I can provide you guys a little info about me, get to know me, see if maybe this is a place you'd like to hang out and talk about books. So first question is, why did you start this channel? I think most of us have a similar reason for starting the channel. I want to talk about books. I want to have a community of like-minded people who read books as well, who enjoy them as much as I do. So I'm really looking forward to that. Second one, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to YouTube? So I feel like I bring a little bit of a unique perspective. I'm a little bit older than what I typically see in content creators, and I'm hoping that might give me a little bit of, some different perspectives and insights into the reading life. And I read books that I don't often see on BookTube or Book Talk. Not that there's anything, I read plenty of those too. I read some things that are outside of that. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of that and see if I can find my people in those spaces as well. So I'm super excited about all the options. What am I most excited about for this YouTube channel? How's that for a segue? I think it's just about building the community and finding people who like the same types of books I do and get recommendations. Not that my TBR list isn't 5 million miles long and I'll never read it in my lifetime, but I also change my mind on what I want to read all the time. I'm very much a mood reader, and I don't like to stick to certain genres or lists or anything like that, which you'll hear more about in future TBR videos and that sort of thing. Oh, why do you love reading? Why do I love reading? It is my introvert coping mechanism. It is what I do to relax, decompress, escape from this reality that we're all living in the U.S. right now. Helps keep my stress levels down. I won't say it eliminates them, but it definitely helps me relax. And it just lets me live a bunch of lives that I will never live in reality, but I can visit places and do things, feel like I'm doing things that I can't do or likely won't do in my real life. Next, what big series got you into reading? So I feel like a lot of women, especially my age, but younger too, especially if they're mystery fans, will say Nancy Drew, and there's no doubt she was a huge influence. My grandmother used to buy me copies of those books at flea markets when my grandfather would be dragging her around on the weekends, so I always had books to keep me company. And so, yeah, Nancy Drew, Trixie Belden was another one. I don't hear that one quite as much. Encyclopedia Brown, the Hardy Boys, all of those were the ones that started. Later I graduated to the Sweet Valley High books, the beautiful books of the 80s and early 90s with the Sweet Valley twins. Jessica? I can't remember the other one. I think one's name was Jessica. I don't remember what the other one was. Anyway, those are the ones that got me started. As an adult, when I came back to reading, Mary Higgins Clark was one of the first that I got into. She wrote mysteries. Fortunately, she's passed away in the last few years. But she was a big influence on my reading. Again, mysteries. That's my go-to genre. It's the one I probably feel most at home in, and the ones I pick up in a slump. So what questions would I ask my favorite YouTubers? There would probably be a lot just about starting a YouTube channel, how they get inspiration for content, how they stay consistent, what made them start theirs, what do they wish they had done, what do they wish they hadn't done, that sort of thing. I'm always wanting to know more, learn more. I'm kind of a data geek in that way, so I'd love to know more about how they got started and what their suggestions and advice would be for those of us that are starting out brand new. What challenges will be hardest with BookTube? So I think consistency is the one I'm the most concerned about, is not letting a lot of time fall between videos. I don't think that's a good way to build a community or be here for your community, by disappearing for long stretches at a time. So I think that's the first one. And then the other one might be if people aren't so kind in the comments. There's always going to be backlash, and there's always going to be people who have something nasty to say. And I think for the most part, I have a fairly thick skin. This is just going to test out that theory. So we'll see what happens. When did you start reading? I don't remember a time I didn't read, from the time I learned how to read. I would read billboard signs. My mom said I would read billboard signs going down the road to practice my reading. And then, you know, I started reading. The first books I really remember reading are Nancy Drew, Trixie Belden, and those that I mentioned earlier. I'm sure there were books before that, you know, early reader books and that sort of thing. But Nancy Drew's really what I first remember. So probably 7, 8, maybe 6, 7, 8, something like that. Where do you read? Wherever I can find an opportunity and a slightly comfortable spot. I have a reading chair that's actually across the room from where I am filming right now. That is my latest spot I like to read. I have a Kindle holder over there, so that I can pop my Kindle in there if I've got a Kindle book. It's got some nice sturdy wooden arms on it. It's a plushy chair, but the arms are wooden. So it's easy, you know, to prop my hands up with a real physical book. I don't say a real book, a physical book. So there's that. As long as one of my cats doesn't decide it's time to be held, which then I hope I have a Kindle book. And one of those is down here trying to make mischief because she knows she's not getting the full attention that she thinks she deserves. I'm sure they will be making appearances in videos in the future. What kinds of books do you read? I read pretty much everything. I would say my least read genres would be sci-fi in the fiction space. Those intimidate me. I've just recently been getting into more fantasy. Those are to the point now they don't really intimidate me like they used to, so that's a good thing. I don't read a ton of nonfiction anymore. I used to read a lot more of it. I haven't read a whole lot in quite a few years, but I do have some that are on my list that I want to read. I don't do a lot of poetry. Most of the time I don't get it. I'm a very literal thinker, so I think it's hard for me to imagine like what it is they're saying, what they're trying to get to. Now, I'm trying to dabble in it. I have a book of Mary Oliver's poems called Devotions, and then I have Amanda Gorman's book of poetry as well. So those are ones I'm hoping to tackle. I don't know if it'll be this year. I mean, it's almost May. So, you know, there's only so much you can tackle in a year. So that'll be on a future want to do list. And then I would say favorite genres, 100% mystery thriller. That would be my go-to. Those are the ones I gravitate towards when I need to get out of a reading slump. Also, tried and true authors. You know, I'll go to those. Like right now, Elsie Silver has become a tried and true author for me. Making my way through the Chestnut Springs series, and every time I open one of those books, it just feels like coming home. I love small town. I got my start reading small town romance, reading Virgin River series by Robin Carr, which is now a Netflix series. I started reading it in the early 2000s, and have read all 21 books. And the first 3 books, I think I've read 4 to 5 times each. They are my comfort reads. They're the ones I turned to during COVID, when nobody knew what was going on in the world, and I knew how those books went and how they ended, and so I read those, and actually ended up binging the rest of the series. I think I had made it up to book 7 or 8, and I binged through book 20, and then a little bit later after that, book 21 came out in response to the Netflix series. So those are probably my 2 go-tos. Fantasy is starting to become something I crave to read, which that makes me pretty excited. So those were the 10 questions I had listed for the Newbie Book Tag. I am super excited to be doing this. It's a big adventure for me. It's putting myself out there, because if you had told me 5 years ago I would be doing something on the internet, I would have said you were crazy. COVID actually helped that a lot. I'm on camera daily for my job, so I guess I've gotten a little bit more used to it. Don't hate the sound of my voice near as much as I used to. So I'm looking forward to this channel. I'm looking forward to meeting people, looking forward to talking books and hearing new recommendations and telling you guys what I think about books. Super excited about it. And I hope you will subscribe. I hope you'll click that like button. I look forward to getting to know you guys, and I will see you next time. I hope y'all have a great day or night or evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!